Also, role play sessions weekly or monthly become very natural and not awkward if we just build it into the culture of the sales agency. Hello and welcome back to our agent podcast. I'm Harrington Dakota, the diva of insurance with Agency Performance Partners. And I'm super excited to talk to you today about how to implement effective sales training for insurance agents. A lot of us are insurance pros, some of us are not. But if you're listening, hopefully you want to do a little bit better. So we're going to dive into the tools, tactics, and conversations that we need to have to help the agency grow with less chaos and more confidence. The first thing people normally think about when they think about sales training is, I don't like role play, or awkward cold calls are horrible. The real sales training, when done right, can actually transform the agency. We're talking higher close rates, better client conversions, and a team that actually loves selling instead of dreading it. If you're tired of your producers winging it, or you're onboarding new agents who are stuck at, I'll get back to you, then you really need to stay tuned. This episode is going to give you the framework you need to build training that sticks. And spoiler alert, I'm using some gold nuggets today from many of our blogs and things at Agency Performance Partners, as well as some of our training. So if you want to dive deeper, you can always visit us at agencyperformancepartners.com, where there's a ton of free and paid resources. But let's get started. The first thing we need to focus on, why does sales training often fail? We need to start with a truth bomb. Most sales training for insurance agents fails because it's treated like an event, not a system. One time, one workbook, half-day Zoom call, whatever it is, then poof, back to chaos. We aren't doing consistent training. We're not building on skills. We're not making it repetition. It's a one and done. And we just think because we read the book or attended the workshop, it's going to happen. At APP, we recommend treating trainings like a long-term habit. Think of it like going to the gym. You wouldn't expect six-pack abs after one session, would you? So don't expect producers to magically close $100,000 in new business after one webinar. Instead, you need to build a training program that grows with your agent. Whether they're brand new or ready to level up, it means layering learning, coaching, metrics, and reinforcement. So the blueprint. This is something we love to talk about. How do we set up a successful plan? If we're going to be practical, we need a blueprint based on what the plan's going to look like. So the first thing, onboarding. It shouldn't be a guessing game. We need to set clear training checkpoints. For the first 30 days, we should probably focus on mastering the sales process, how to use the systems, how to get it done, and how to document everything correctly. The next 30 to 60 days, we need to dive into objection handling and follow-up. Then after that, weekly role play, call reviews, and reporting. We have to maintain what we worked so hard to get to begin with. The second step, we need to teach the sales process. Rapport. We have to build rapport if we want long-term relationships. A lot of agencies can slam on a lot of business, but then it quickly leaves within the first 1 to 2 years, leaving them wondering, what did they do wrong? A lot of times it's they didn't build good rapport, or they didn't discover the pain points along the way of the client, and they simply just quoted and emailed the quote. We have to do better. The second part of our sales training process is build up a repertoire of conversations to overcome objections. We need to follow up and follow through. We need to ask for referrals, and we have to focus on client retention. If you make it simple, it becomes repeatable. And if you're focused on building relationships, we're not just chasing price shoppers. The third thing we need to focus on, scripts and role play, or role practice or practice play, whatever you want to call it. We are firm believers in this. We also need to remember that scripts shouldn't be robotic. They're confidence builders. New agents sometimes need a solid structure before they can improvise. If we get them comfortable with the talk tracks that are on brand for the agency, they can tweak it slightly once they get more comfortable. But we need to give them a starting point. Also, role play sessions weekly or monthly become very natural and not awkward if we just build it into the culture of the sales agency. Lastly, we have to cross-sell with purpose. Life insurance, umbrellas, Inland Marine, we need to focus on cross-selling. We need to train everybody on the team to look for opportunity. We need to teach everybody on the team to talk about it during every conversation. And it's going to make the agency scalable. We went in depth with our cross-selling life insurance training previously, and it's a great example of turning basic service calls into high-value conversation. The next thing we need to do is also coach our managers. Who's training the managers to coach? Because here's the thing. Most sales breakdowns aren't just from producers. They're from the leaders who were never taught how to lead. We need to equip managers with tools to be able to set clear goals, review the calls and quotes weekly, and address underperformance with empathy and structure. A well-coached manager equals a high-performing team. End of story. Which leads us to tracking. We have to be able to track like a boss. If you're not measuring up, you can't improvise it. Some simple KPIs to focus on are number of quotes that happened during the week. What was the contact to quote ratio? What was the quotes to close ratio? What was the number of cross sells? How many referrals did we get? We need to review them regularly. We need to coach our team on the numbers and celebrate the win. That's how we're going to build momentum and see positive reinforcement and growth in our team. We have to track and use the numbers regularly. We also need to make sure that our training is ongoing and on demand. Sales training shouldn't end when the onboarding does. That's why I love our agency school and our sales training. You can train your team anytime, anywhere. And if your agents aren't super busy, the lessons are 10 to 15 minutes each. Perfect for a quick break or a morning meeting. What I want you to remember is for effective sales training for insurance agents, it's not just about having scripts or doing a once-a-year training. It's absolutely about building habit, using real-world tools, coaching continuously, and giving your team permission to improve, not be perfect. If you want to go deeper, here's what you could do right now. You can subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss the next deep dive. You can download our free sales training checklists and scripts at agencyperformancepartners.com. You can contact us for a customized training plan. We do virtual and live, or you can buy our on-demand courses and plug them in. Trust me when I say, when your team sells with confidence, your agency grows with ease. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you loved the episode, drop a quick review on Apple or Spotify. It'll help us reach more agency rock stars just like you. Until next time, keep crushing those quotes and building a ridiculously amazing agency.